What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is AkeemHaynes. I'm a two-time Olympian, Olympic bronze medalist, author, motivational speaker, and sports commentator. On my channel, we talk boxing, MMA, track and field, and of course, motivation and encouraging content. If this is something that you enjoy, then I hope that you subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get into the video. Alexander Volkanovski versus Max Holloway 3. Now, these two know each other very well. Right? In the history of sports, especially combat sports, there are very few times when you get to see a trilogy. And here we're getting to see a trilogy this week. Now, there's been a lot of controversy about who won the first and second fight. Some say Volkanovski, right? And some have Max winning. So this is going to settle the whole score. This is going to settle everything because I'm sure we are not going to get a fourth fight. But let's talk about Volkanovski, right? Volkanovski in his last fight against the Korean Zombie, I have never seen him that good in any fight before. He was faster than I have ever seen him before, more dialed in than I've ever seen him before, more efficient than I've seen him before, as confident and poised and controlled as I've ever seen him before. This was the best version of Alexander Volkanovski, in my opinion. He's a different fighter than when they fought at UFC 251. He has grown and developed so much in different ways, in different forms. Volkanovski is a very good striker. He's got quick hands. He's efficient and he's precise with his shot selection. He is not going to take uncalculated risks. It has to make sense for him. He's very precise and methodical with his approach and what he chooses to use. And because he's such a dominant striker, I think this is where he's going to want to keep this fight. I think this is where this fight is going to be for a good portion of the fight. I think this is going to be one of those fights where it's going to start slow and then slowly start to build. Right now, Max Holloway was the favorite from what I understand coming in with the first two fights. Despite the outcome, he feels that he won both of those fights. Now, this is Max's first fight this year. I believe he had a bout with COVID, so hopefully he's been able to recover from that. But we got to keep that in mind as well, too. Now, in his last fight against Yair Rodriguez, man, that was a fight. Both two warriors putting on a show. And if you saw what they looked like after the fight, they both looked a bit rough, right? But I think that was the type of fight that he needed to prepare him for what he's about to walk into. Max is a very good striker as well, too. He's a good body puncher. He mixes up his attacks very well. When you think you have him figured out, boom, there goes a flying knee or an elbow, and something comes at you that you didn't equate for. Now, he's got a long reach, so he can find you at any moment. That is a strength. He took a lot of punishment in the last fight. He took a lot of risks, and he overcommitted. Right? There were times when Rodriguez used his kick and Max would punch out and he would get countered. Right? Max's legs were a little bit wobbled because of the damage that he was taking from Rodriguez's kick. Volkanovski, he uses the kicks as well, too. In this fight, I think Max has to take the fight to Volkanovski. He has to apply the pressure and be selective with the shots because every time he misses or overcommits, right, or lunges, I think Volkanovski is going to make him pay. He's quick enough to make him pay. If he allows Volkanovski to get comfortable and allows Volkanovski to be the aggressor or fight from a distance, if he allows Volkanovski to determine the pace of this fight, it's not going to go well for Max because Volkanovski is going to pick you apart. Volk is too sound, he's too precise, he's too efficient for you to allow him to get comfortable in this fight. While I'm expecting to see a few takedown attempts in this fight, I'm not expecting this fight to be very much on the ground. I'm expecting this to be a stand-up fight for a good portion of it. But here's the thing for me, right? You can only prepare so much for a fighter that you've seen twice already. Yeah, some things may change. Right. But generally, there's not a lot of things that is going to blow you out the water to say, wow, they've improved this drastically and maybe decreased in this area. No, it's one of these fights where it's going to come down to who can outlast the pressure, who can stay in the moment, who can stay controlled and disciplined in their game plan, who is going to show the most heart, who is going to be able to capitalize on the moments when the other fighter doesn't look as sharp, who is going to seize the moment. And we know the physical capabilities of a fighter. We know that they may be physically strong. They know they be fast. They know they got a good chin. But what about the internal parts? What about the heart and the character of a person? What about the will to outlast the storm? What about the will of a person to not only outlast the storm, but to endure every single round and come forward despite what the cards may say that I can still win this fight. It is the will of Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway that is going to carry them through this third fight. This is going to be a great fight. I'm looking forward to the whole card in its entirety. But if I had to say in this fight, I'm leaning towards Volkanovski. Based on what I've seen in his last fight, if he comes in looking like that, then we might see a similar result to the previous ones where Volkanovski is on top. I don't know what Max is going to look like just yet, but Max is a warrior. Max is ready for the moment. He knows how to capitalize on the moment. So we'll see what happens. What are your thoughts on this fight? How do you have it going? Who do you have winning? Let me know in the comments section below. And of course, if you've been watching the video this long, then do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, and we'll definitely see you next time.